make some Italian meatballs. And we need to start with a half a cup of Italian breadcrumbs. We'll dump those in there, and then we've got 2/3 of a cup of milk. We dump that together, and we'll mix those together, and then set it aside for 5 minutes or so. We're going to have a pound of ground beef. This is 85-15, 80-20, 85-15, either one is good. Don't go too lean because the flavor is in the fat in beef, and this is beef, so you want to keep some fat. We're going to start dumping ingredients into our bowl. That's a pound of ground beef. This is a quarter of a medium onion chopped up fine. And then we have 1 egg, which I'm going to heat up and add that. And while we're doing all of this, our oven is preheating to 400 degrees. This is 2 cloves of garlic, except that it's actually minced garlic because I don't have any fresh garlic tonight. The bad part of that is I just went to the store and got the breadcrumbs. Guess that means I should have checked the inventory before I went. So that is the equivalent of 2 cloves of garlic. So it's 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. This is a half a teaspoon of black pepper. This is a teaspoon of salt. Truthfully, I did a scant teaspoon. This one is a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And if anybody in my family is watching this video, I should have pre-warned them because they're all going to faint that I'm using cheese in the rest. What I'm going to do now is mix it by hand. Part of the reason for that is I want to avoid over mixing, so I'm mixing it by hand. If I use any other form of mixing, like my mixer, which you all know I love, it'll get overmixed and the meatballs will be tough and dense. And we don't want that. Okay, so this has been a good 5 minutes. So we're going to dump this in. This looks like cereal. And we're back to mixing it by hand again. Let me just clean my hands a little minute. All right, so we're going to put our meatballs in a pan, which I've lined with tin foil because I really hate cleaning pans. And I'm going to see what size meatball that makes. I wet my hands on purpose because I read that meatballs won't stick to your hands if your hands are wet. So let's test that out. Seems to be the case so far. I think these are a little smaller than the ones that I saw being made. And the recipe did call for a big cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop. I don't have either one. This is the biggest I have, and I think this is 1.5 tablespoons or maybe 2, really not big. So I expect my cooking time will be altered somewhat. This is probably a good time to tell you all how much I appreciate that you watch my videos. I really, really do appreciate it. It surprises me sometimes when I stop and think about it. I've been having fun doing it, and as long as you guys keep watching, I'll try to keep making them. Even more encouraging if you comment. This is definitely making more meatballs than the recipe called for. I don't know what's up with my voice tonight, but I hope you don't find it as annoying as I am. We're going to get 15 meatballs, and I think the recipe made, I'm not sure if it was 8 or 12, but it wasn't 15. And what we're going to do is cook these. Now the recipe says 20 to 25 minutes at 400 degrees, but that was for the bigger meatballs. So I'm going to check these out at 15 minutes and see if they're done. You know they're done when they're 165 degrees in the center. So you want to do this with your digital thermometer handy. Okay, so they're going in the oven now. I'll set the timer for 15 minutes and then check them. Okay, the meatballs are up to temperature. Let's get them out of the oven. Well, they definitely all exceed 165. Let me reveal the mistake I made. You notice that doesn't want to come off the tin foil? I should have used parchment paper, or I should have sprayed the tin foil. Out, hands hot. These babies are stuck. Okay, I'm pretty anxious to try one, so let's put one on a plate and see what we've got. We'll let it cool for just a couple of minutes though. Tell you what, they smell good. As you can tell, 15 meatballs is quite a few, which means I'm not going to eat them all tonight. And that means that it's a good thing that you can freeze them after you cook them. When it's time to warm them up, you can warm them up in the microwave, you can warm them up in an air fryer or in a pan, or right in your spaghetti sauce as you warm the spaghetti sauce up. See if I can do this without burning myself. It's very, very good. Now I'm anxious for my water to boil so I can cook some spaghetti. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to try something different tonight. I always buy the cheap spaghetti, whatever's on sale. But actually, this was on sale. A friend of mine told me that he had tried real Italian spaghetti, and there was a major difference between it and the stuff I normally buy at like Walmart or wherever. So I bought a pack the other day. It was on sale. It cost a lot more than the stuff I normally buy. Even on sale, this was about $4 a pound. But it's made in Italy. It's cut with a bronze die, which supposedly makes the texture of the spaghetti rougher so that the sauce sticks to it better. So let me see. There's definitely a texture on it that you can feel. Definitely. So I'm going to cook some up to go with the meatballs that are in the oven. And we'll see what we got. I'll be back. Okay. Now here's our spaghetti with the sauce. Actually, I showed you it before I put the sauce on it. And the overhead camera probably got that. But the other two didn't because I didn't turn them on. So basically what I said was it's pretty tasty all by itself. So let's see what it tastes like with sauce on it. That's pretty good. The sauce does cling to it more. It's a little bit thicker than regular spaghetti. And I like thicker spaghetti. So I'm really kind of glad that my friend told me about Italian spaghetti. And that's going to be it for this video for tonight. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.